So let me start with this beautiful quote of Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori says, to talk is the nature of man. Who agrees to this? To talk is the nature of man. Yes? If we don't talk, what will happen to us? We will fall into depression, anxiety. Yes, we cannot keep it built in within us, right? We need to share. We are all social beings. We need to share. Yes, a language forms a large part, okay, of our human nature. And language is not an artificial skill. When I say it's not an artificial skill, it is something that people were trying from the very beginning of existence. So how did this language come? As soon as human existence came, did we have language? Did we have language? No. What did the old men do in the caves? They were carving pictures. Correct? They were carving pictures. They were drawing. So we call that pictograms. What is that? Pictograms. Just give me a second. I'll share my screen. So students, when listen, don't think of exam point of view. Yes, we're just going to enjoy the class. Okay. So we started with pictograms. Yes, everyone. So what is, sorry, change my pen. So what is this pictograms? Pictures. Yes. So humans, we started using pictures. Okay. To communicate our whatever we wanted to tell. Okay. We use pictures and drawings to share messages. Correct. So the using pictures and drawing was called pictograms. And it has so much of connection with Montessori. Why? Why? Because in Montessori, we tell children learn to draw before they learn to write. Have you seen children naturally taking something and drawing on the wall or on the floor, doing something, and you ask them what it is? It might be one circle or it might be an anda, an egg. Yes? But they will tell you a big story. Yes, agreed, everybody? Because there is a need to communicate, and we start communicated by drawing. Yes, so these are called as pictograms. Then what happened to the pictograms? Slowly, the pictograms turned into symbols, turned into simple symbols. Like if somebody drew water with a hand, it meant to drink water. Yes, a symbol of water could mean water, could mean to drink water. It would mean river. So what happened is the big pictures turned into little smaller symbols, and they were used to convey an idea. They were used to convey an idea. So pictograms became ideograms. What did pictograms become? It became ideograms. We started using some kind of symbols. Okay, like if there was water, this meant an ocean body. If it is like this, it meant like drinking water. Okay. So slowly your pictograms started getting converted into ideograms. Then what happened? Yes. Are we still talking like this? No. Then slowly this one, okay, people started using words, using words. Then pictures. Now we started using words. These words, okay, we could break it into sounds. For example, I say word, or the word. It has sounds. Whatever we are talking, every word is made up of sounds. Yes. So we started using words. And then we found out that words are made up of sounds. Then we started making, we had vowels. Yes. We had what is called as vowels. Okay. Why do we have vowels? Clear speech. Okay. They found out that certain sounds will help in clear speech. That is why vowels were born. Okay. This helps in clear speech. Yes. And then what did they do? Every sound, we gave it a letter. Okay. For every sound, we started giving a letter. And that is how the alphabet system was born. Yes. That's how the alphabet, every letter we call A, B, C, D, all of this are letters. So I want all of you to realize something very beautiful. So here we have letters, here we have sounds. Sounds came even before letters. Sounds came even before letters, but we teach children the letter, then we teach the sound. Correct? And in Montessori, we will teach the sounds before the letters. You will see how. Even before we introduce letters in Montessori, we introduce the sounds. Children understand what is sounds, what are the sounds in words. Getting it, everybody? Yes? So beautiful. This is how language was born. This is how we got the alphabet system. And then, because of this system, writing and reading became very easy. Agreed, everybody? It's so easy to write and read. Otherwise, you have to go on drawing so many pictures to explain our ideas, and then we will think it is better to keep quiet. Yes? Instead of spending so much of energy. Got it, everybody? Yes? Show me 2 thumbs up so I know you've understood. Yes, Janvi, Manjula, Shalini, Pooja. Who's Oppo? Please rename Vidya. Mala, all of you understood? Pavani, Ashwini, Poonam, Mahita, Katija, Vanita, Kimberly. Yes, if I've left anybody's name, I've not left, I'm watching you all. Okay. Navya, Gauri, Monisha. Yes. So this is how language was born. So beautiful. Your pictures turned into ideograms with smaller symbols. Yes, because they found that this is very difficult. For everything, I have to draw so many pictures. So human beings, they wanted to make life easier. So we had symbols, which is ideograms, and then we started using words, oral. Okay, when I'm saying words, it's not written, it is oral. Then they understood that the words have been made up of sounds. Yes, everybody, words are made up of sounds, and sound, they started identifying vowels. Vowels are very, very important because it helps in clear speech. Yes, everyone. And then we learned that, they started understanding that we can use a letter to represent every sound, and that's how the alphabet system was born. And then we are able to read and write very beautifully. This is how language came into existence. Yes, everyone? This is your alphabet system where we use a symbol, and in some cases, like now Jolly Phonics, even 2 letters can make 1 sound. Okay, that we will learn later. And I want to tell you something very interesting. Language is something which is alive. It is something which is very alive. It keeps changing. Yes? What is our new language? LOL, BRB, then what is it? All this emoji language. Yes, Monica, you want to say something? Yes, lot of languages. Yes, we have started inventing new kinds of short forms. Yes, correct. So language never stays still. So what happens? Old words start disappearing. Do we use the English that we were using long time ago? They ain't coming. Do we use, actually? Do we use the English that we used long time ago? No, we don't use it. It is changed. That means old words are removed, new words are being added to the dictionary. So every generation, correct, as generations pass, the language also changes. Correct, new words are added, old words are removed. Yes? So language is something which is alive and it is ever changing. Now, what is our main aim? Why are we learning language? We want our children also to learn so that they can communicate effectively with us. Am I right? Yes? So when will children learn well? When will children learn well? You can let me know your answers. When will a child learn well?
When we talk.
When we talk. Correct? When we talk, the child will talk back. Right? That means the child's environment. What is environment? What is surrounding the child should be rich in language. Yes? It should be rich in language. There should be meaningful vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Vocabulary is the number of words that a person knows. So when we say your vocabulary has to be rich, it means you have to learn new words. Yes, everyone? Yeah? So what happened is, what we say is for a child to learn well, the environment has to be rich with language. Not only that, the environment should be respectful. We must respect the child's efforts in learning the language. Yes? So that is how your environment should be. The child should be spoken to a lot and should also be listened to a lot. Yes, everyone? So now let's see the language development in a child. Okay. So when a child enters classroom, I want all of you to imagine. We all can imagine well? Yes, that is what we human beings are gifted with. Yes. So when the child enters classroom, how does the child enter the classroom? At 3 years. The child knows the language? Who says yes? I want your hands up. Who says yes? Child knows some language. Yes, the language that the child has learnt at home. Agreed, everybody? The child learns the language that is present at home. Yes, with this knowledge, the child comes in. That means the child is not empty when the child comes. The child has absorbed the language which was present at home, or we can say has absorbed the language in his culture. When we say the child has absorbed the spoken language, it just doesn't mean only the words, the way the words are being spoken. Getting it, everybody? How are the words spoken? That expression,
Tone.
that rhythm, yes, beautiful, that tone, yes, all of that the child learns, not just the words. So when we say the child is absorbing, we all know a child is like a cotton. In water, it will absorb everything. So when the child is small, you don't even have to teach the language, you just have to keep talking. You don't even have to, the child will just listen and absorb everything. So the child will absorb the vocabulary, the words, the tones, the expression, everything. What are you going to do at class? You're going to strengthen that spoken language. You're going to make it strong. You're going to give more opportunities for the child. Yes, how do you give opportunities for the child? By having a conversation. What is conversation?
One-to-one conversation.
Yes, one-to-one conversation. We speak, the child responds. Okay? Not only one way, only the teacher teaching. We always keep telling, shush, shush, shush. We shoo the child and we don't allow the child to talk. That is not conversation. Yes, everyone? So you have to allow conversation. That will strengthen language. Yes? And you have to use the right words. No using Vicky, Chucky, all of that. Yes? Then the child will think, okay, biscuit means Vicky only. Chocolate means Chucky only. Okay, no using baby language. Please make a note. Even when the baby is small, please don't use baby language. Even if the baby is, yes, the baby is not able to talk or the child is not able to talk, because the tongue muscles are not strong. But the child will put efforts only when you speak rightly. Okay, please make a note. So very important, when the child comes to the classroom, you're going to strengthen the spoken language. That is why in India, the government says, please use the state language in your classrooms, because we want to strengthen whatever the child knows. So in West, it's not a problem. They have English at home, they have English at school. But in India, it is very challenging. Especially in metro cities, you cannot use the state language because we have children speaking Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Urdu, so many different languages. Correct? So over here, the teacher's role is very important. You have to speak with a lot of actions and expressions. So we say use the child's language. You should, as a teacher, be knowing few words in every language to connect with the child and then start speaking English language. Yes. So now, after this conversation, strengthening the vocabulary, making the child learn new words, only then we will step into writing. Now, do you know where do we make a mistake? As soon as the child comes in, we give them the ABCD book. We ask them to write A, B, that to fit within lines, do a copywriting. And that's why the child thinks, oh my God, let me not go to school and struggle. Getting it? It should be a gentle unfolding. The child can learn, but do it the right way. First, strengthen the vocal language. The child should know the words. Only then the child will understand the purpose of writing. So, strengthen the vocal language. Help the child to increase his or her vocabulary. Yes, and then only we go into words. All of you got this? How does a child learn?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Just
please.
one doubt here. So you said to increase the vocabulary, one-to-one conversation is the best.
Lot
And
of
what are
other
the
things are
other?
also there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Meeta. Mm.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to know what are the other ways to increase the vocabulary, ma'am.
We will learn today. Okay, we will
Okay.
learn today. We will be learning. That is what is our language practicals all about. Okay, yes, Vidya. That is what it is all about. So we are going to see how we are going to increase. So this is just an introduction to language practicals. What does the child need? Right? So first we saw how language came into existence, how the alphabet system came into existence. Now what we are seeing? We are seeing how the child learns the language and how important oral language is. Okay, oral language is very, very important. And language is very important because language shapes something beautiful. Language shapes thoughts. Yes, language shapes thoughts. Your thinking. Yes, something new that you're learning. Language shapes thoughts. So we must speak properly because language is deeply connected to thinking. That is why in many states they fight for the language because language is deeply connected to thinking, deeply connected to culture. Because it is deeply connected to thinking, the child should be spoken to a lot. Okay, you must speak a lot to the child. Here, let me make it simple. You must speak a lot to the child. Okay. Next, what should we do? You should listen with respect. The child may make mistakes. The child is learning the language. You should listen with respect. You should not make fun of the child's way of speaking. Yes, and you must speak clearly. No baby language. You must speak clearly with clear pronunciation. And you should allow the child to experience the rhythm, the way the language is spoken, no? That rhythm, that tone, expression. Okay? All of this the child should get because the way you speak also affects the thinking. Agreed, everybody? Sometimes you must have told something, but it will go and reach the other way. Why? Because of our tone, because of the way we expressed it. Agreed, everybody? And the rhythm was not good. So you thought something, it went and reached wrongly. Has it happened? Yes. So very, very important that you speak a lot, you listen with respect, you speak with the correct pronunciation. Yes, the child and for teachers especially, the child should be able to see your lip, your tongue, all of that when you teach the sounds and when you talk to the child. Yes, you will be talking a little slowly. You will make an eye contact and talk to the child. Yes, sir, and you should also allow the child to experience the tone, that rhythm while talking. Beautiful languages. Yes, everyone. So this child, okay, will absorb everything which is present around. Yes. So it's very important that you tell a lot of stories. When we say speak a lot, then you have to give opportunities. If the child has to learn the spoken language, the child has to listen to a lot of, okay, the child has to listen to a lot of stories. Yes, should hear to a lot of stories, rhymes, poems, okay, or rhymes. Very and while doing this, like I already told, the child should feel joyful. The child should feel respected. The child should feel encouraged. If you keep discouraging the child will not attempt. The brain will not do anything difficult. Yes, should be joyful. Child should feel respected. Child should feel encouraged. Child should feel safe. Yes, everyone. So these are very, very important. Not only that you speak and then you hit the child, you scream at the child, right? You have to listen to the child with respect. Yes, we know you get frustrated because you have a lot of things to do, but this is very, very important if you want the child to learn the language very well. Yes, everyone. So what did we see from the beginning of the class? we saw how language emerged. Pictogram became, unmute, everyone.
Ideogram.
Ideograms became
Words. Using words. Words.
words. They started understanding words are made up of
Sounds.
sounds, and every sound we started giving a letter. Correct? And that is how the alphabet system was bound. And that is how we follow in Montessori also. Even before introducing letters, we introduce sounds to the child. Then we understood that language shapes the thoughts. Because it is deeply linked to thinking, you must speak a lot. You must listen with respect. The child, you should speak with correct pronunciation. Correct? The tone, rhythm, expression. Everything should be beautiful. The child should feel and enjoy that language. Yes. Yes, the child should hear to a lot of stories, listen to a lot of rhymes. All this is going to strengthen their language skills. We are going to see a lot of other activities also. Okay. Very, very important. The state of mind. Can you learn when you are irritated?
No.
Can we learn when we are sad? Let's see who can learn. Can we learn when we are sad? Can we learn when we are angry? No. Then how do you expect a child to learn that way? You will pinch the child, listen properly, listen, repeat properly. Do you think the child will learn? No. Okay. So very important. The state of mind should be joyful. Child should feel free. Child should feel respected. You're going to encourage the child and you're going to make the child feel safe. If any of this does not happen, learning will not happen properly. Yes, everyone. So it is our time. What kind of teachers are we?
Great
What kind of teachers? I want to see great teachers, right? And we are not going to do things for the sake of doing. Yes, everyone. We have to give it in a way the child understands. That is the difference. You go a step ahead. Yes, students. Madhuri.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's go on to the next one. You're going to understand something very beautiful, which is called third point of consciousness. Okay. So what is third point of what is the first 2 points? We will see later. Okay. Third point of consciousness. A child will reach what is called third point of consciousness at the age of 6. At the age of 6. Yes, everyone. So what is this third point of consciousness? It is a stage where the child understands sounds have meanings. It is a stage where the child understands whatever words you're telling is sounds. Whatever I'm speaking is actually sound. These sounds have meanings. Words can be written. Okay, words can be used to represent ideas. And you can use letters, that is symbols in writing. Okay, so let's see what is this third point of consciousness. What is this third point of consciousness? It is reached when the child is 6 years, at 6 years. Okay, the child understands that. Yes, everybody, sounds have meaning. The child understands that words can represent ideas. Yes, symbols can be used. When I say symbols, we are referring to letters. Letters can be used in writing and even drawing. Symbols also represent drawing, okay, to express their ideas. This is something very different, right? When the child is born, child is not even able to make a sound. The baby is just making some kind of sounds and slowly understanding that sounds have meaning. Words we can use, we use to represent some ideas. You can express your ideas with words. Symbols can be used for writing is something big. And at 6 years, what is our expectation? Yes, the child should be able to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. The child should be able to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. How? Both by oral language, that is by speaking, as well as written language. So please make a note, teachers, and everybody present in the room, that language, the way at 6 years, this is the expectation. The child should be able to express themselves orally as well as through written language. Yes, they should be able to read easily. They should be able to read easily. Only read easily. They should be able to understand what we are speaking also. Understand the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, or we cannot tell so deep, at least the thoughts and expression of others. This is the this is the expectation in 6 years. Why do we say expectation? Please give it within 6 years. Okay, at 6 years, this is what the child should have learned, because this is their sensitive period. Okay, so once the child learns language, it is freedom for the child. Why freedom? For everything, the child doesn't have to point out, call the mother, show, or call the father or caretaker and try to explain what he or she wants. They can express their mind freely. Getting it, everybody? So please make a note. This is something that we are not getting in our society. We are just focusing on 3-letter words, 4-letter words. We are not focusing on writing as a means of expressing. Correct? The child will come, dictation, learn, write. Next dictation, learn, write. They don't even know why words are required. They will think, who discovered these words? I have to write so much. Yes, everybody agree? Yes, the child will think like that. Why so many words? Oh my God. So we take the child, we strengthen the oral language. From oral language, we take the child to writing, where the child will learn how to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions through writing, that you will understand soon. Then we take them to reading. With ease, when I say reading, how many of you have read and not understood? Many times you read. How many? All of us. Correct? And sometimes when we see a book with lots of words, we will think, oh my God, let me not touch it. It is too much. It will go above my head. Agreed, everybody? Yes? All of us. Yes. That is because we have not learned reading, as total reading. Now, what is this total reading? You're going to understand. Okay? So reading is called mechanical reading. If you're just reading la 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 la, right? Sometimes before the exams, you just keep on reading and nothing goes into the head. Yes, that is your mechanical reading. What is total reading? Reading and understanding. Getting it? When we say reading, it means you're reading and understanding at the same time. Okay, so when I'm talking about reading, the reading at 6 years, the child reads and understands. Did you all get it? Yes. So the child should be able to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions orally and in written language. They should be able to read well. Okay, they should be able to write well. They should be able to read well. They should be able to understand others' feelings, what the other person is trying to communicate also. Agreed, everybody? Yes. So language is not simple, right? And our responsibility is huge in language. Okay, because the child spends their active hours in school. Okay? So I told you, right? I will tell you what is the other 2 periods. So before even we go deep into this, okay, I want you to understand a little more. All these are not there in your book, but I want you to enjoy it and understand how beautifully we human beings are designed. Okay, so this period 0 to 3 years. Okay, this period 0 to 3 years is called the child will absorb the world unconsciously. How is the child absorbing the world? Unconsciously. Just a second, let me share this. Yes, this is just for your knowledge, students. Okay, 0 to 3 years, the child will absorb everything. This is your first point of consciousness. Okay, will absorb unconsciously. What is unconsciously? Putting no effort, just absorbing everything. The child will be able to absorb just like that. So this period is very, very important. We say will absorb everything without choosing. So the child will absorb the language, the child will absorb the culture, whatever you do around the child will absorb your behavior. Yes, will absorb the sounds, will absorb your attitude. Yes, will absorb your emotions, everything. Whatever is there in the environment, the child will not choose this is right, this is wrong. All that choosing the child cannot do. Yes, everyone, everything from the environment is just absorbed by the child. And I want you to understand something very beautiful. Before birth, okay, before birth, what happens? The embryo, the physical embryo is growing. Yes, it grows the body. We say the physical embryo, the embryo which is inside, right? Grows the body, correct? The embryo is like the seed, whatever, thing, it will grow the body. After birth, whatever is there in the embryo will grow the mind. Beautiful. This was being told by Maria Montessori. Okay. So this will help in growth. Whatever embryo is being formed inside the body will help the body in growing. And after birth, it will help to grow the mind. So what happens between 0 to 3 years? The child's brain is connecting. Yes, the child's brain is connecting. A lot of mental organs, okay, we call that the memory. Slowly, many of us, we will not remember what happened at this period of time because we won't even remember what had happened inside the womb because we don't have memory. Okay, only now it is all forming. Your memory, your language, movement, everything is forming. Why all this is forming? To go into the next stage, which is conscious. What is conscious? I'm doing it consciously means I know and do. Okay. Unconscious means I don't know and I'm doing. Not that falling down unconscious. Okay. Unconscious means I don't know. I'm just absorbing it. Yes. So when 0 to 3 years, what is happening? The memory is growing, the language is growing, the movement, all of this is forming. Yes. And this is preparing the child for conscious action. Okay. Can a newborn speak? Can a newborn speak? No. Okay. If they speak, we'll get scared. Yes, everyone. So a newborn cannot speak. Correct? So when a child, but this newborn has a mental mechanism. Okay. It has got a mechanism. The body, okay, knows how to prepare. Okay. How to develop that speech. It will happen step by step. So we say the newborn is born with a mental mechanism to create language. How does that mechanism to learn the language develop? It develops by experience. Many children these days, they are not able to speak. Have you all noticed? Yes. Why they are not able to speak? Why they are not able to speak? Unmute and tell. Everyone, why children these days are not able to speak? Yes, Kimpali. Yes, Rajita, Janvi, Varlakshmi, Neeta. Why?
Nobody is there to speak with the child.
Very true. Nobody is there to speak with the child. Yes, there is no one. Parents are working from home. Everybody shushing the child all the time. Yes. You're not able to unmute? Just press it. You should be able to unmute. Just a second.
Now,
You are an unmute.
now
Yes.
we can, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens when a child is born? The child should be able to hear the language. And not only that, only hearing language means we can play one audio, no? Is that enough for hearing for language? No, then what else is needed?
We have
What
to
else?
speak to the
Connections.
child. Whether
Connection.
they can give answer or
Eye
not,
contact,
we have
ma'am.
to keep speaking to them.
Eye
We have
contact.
to keep speaking. All of this beautiful. That
Speaking to
means they
them.
have to watch our
Eye
face.
contact.
Facial
Eye
expressions. They
contact.
have to watch
Facial.
our facial expressions.
Beautiful. Yes, they have to watch our facial expressions. So, How will this mechanism to speak develop? By experience, by hearing to language, by watching the faces, by listening to sounds, and seeing people talk with each other. So your environment will build the language of the child. Yes? So by 3.5 years, you don't even have to give language lessons to the child. The child can speak a full language. Can the child speak the language that you're speaking at home? It might be Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, or mixed Telugu, Tamil, whatever kind of language you're speaking at home, the child will be able to speak. Yes?
Yes.
So we shouldn't tell, no,
Yes,
my
yes.
child is speaking a mixed language. Whatever language you're speaking at home, the child should be able to speak. Agreed, everybody? Yes?
Yes.
So the child should be able to speak a full language without lessons, without being taught, only by absorbing. Yes, the child has that beautiful power of absorbing. And I want everybody to make a note. 0 to 6 years is the sensitive period for language. If you don't give language, if you're not going to keep your environment, your surrounding rich with sounds, rich with language, it will be difficult to learn later. Sensitive period is the period when they are open to that learning. So from birth itself, from 0 to 6 years is the sensitive period for language. Yes, everyone? Please make a note. 0 to 6 years is the sensitive period for language. They're open to learning. Yes? So what happens? Sensitive period means you're naturally attracted to all of this. They're naturally attracted to learning. Correct? When I say they are open to a particular learning, when the child is open to crawling, sensitive period for crawling, you need not show how to crawl. Child only will crawl. Correct? Have you ever showed how to crawl to our children? No. In the same way, 0 to 6 years, the child is open to language. That means the child is attracted to sounds. The child is attracted to the words. The child is attracted to the tone. Child will just absorb the language. They will make mistakes. But whenever they make mistakes, they try to repeat what you tell. They keep on repeating. That repetition will bring joy in the child. Not only joy, the child will learn the words. So please do not miss this 0 to 6 years. Having a child is a commitment. Make sure that the child has a beautiful environment rich with language. Yes, everyone? So that 0 to 6 years is very, very important. It is the strongest sensitive period. Later on, from 6 to 12 years, whatever you put, it's only a mild period. They cannot learn as fast as they learn between 0 to 6 years. Please make a note of it. Okay. So what did we learn from the beginning of class? We learned that how language was born. Pictograms, ideograms. Then words are made of sounds are made of letters. Then we saw the birth of the alphabet system. Then we understood that
Language is the shape of thoughts.
language shapes the thought. So what is very important for that? You have to speak, you have to hear, you have to tell stories. The child has to experience the language. Yes, very, very important is the state of mind. The child should feel joyful. The child should feel respected, should feel safe,
Encouraged.
should feel encouraged. Yes. And at 6 years, the child reaches a third point of consciousness. What is the third point of consciousness?
Understands the sound as a meaning. Sound has the
Correct.
meaning.
Sounds have meaning. Words
can
are
represent ideas.
Can
Words
represent
beautiful.
ideas.
Present
Represent
ideas.
ideas. Letters used for writing.
Superb. Yes. Symbols can also be drawings also as well as letters. They can be used for writing. So what is the requirement? I'm repeating again and again because they should go into a permanent memory. At 6 years, child should have a good oral language development. That means they should be able to express their thoughts, feelings, and expressions. They should be able to write. You're asking them to write what they are thinking. They should be able to write at 6 years. Okay, not by heart and copyright. Okay, please no. Copywriting is seeing the board and writing. That is too much of, copying and writing without understanding. The child should be able to do total reading. That means read easily, should understand the other person's thoughts also. This is the requirement. So your first point of consciousness is 0 to 3 years. We saw this is the third point. So what is our first point? 0 to 3 years. So 0 to 3 years, the child is going to absorb everything unconsciously. That means no effort. Everything what is there around the child, it will just get absorbed by the child. So very, very important period. Correct? The language, your behavior, your culture, your emotion, your attitude, everything the child is absorbing. So be very careful. So look at that, how these human beings are formed before birth, when the embryo is formed, right? That embryo, right? It helps in the growth of the child. It's like the seed. And after birth, that embryo helps in developing the mind of the child. Yes, and for the mind, language is very, very important. Yes, so at 0 to 3 years, we saw that the memory, the language, movement, everything is forming. Why is it forming? Because from 3 plus, the child is going to get into the conscious mode. That means
Conscious mode.
whatever the child is absorbing with consciousness, is knowing and absorbing it. And which is a sensitive period for language?
0 to 6.
0 to 6 years. So many parents think, let my child not learn anything. Let my child watch the gadgets. Let my child just simply have any kind of fun. Okay? Which may not add value to the child. This is not right. You have to make sure child has meaningful experiences only. And there are a lot of sensitive periods between 0 to 6 years. Do not miss them. And in many schools, we do not even give importance to reading when the child is in UKG or upper kindergarten or from 5 years. Okay, it's very, very important. You have a library. Please make a note. You have a library in your school. Whichever school you are going to or the school that you are setting up, you should have a library. Children should feel like taking the book and reading. A child should be able to read by 6 years. Okay, we're going to see a lot of activities for the same, how to help the child to read. A child should be able to read by 6 years. This is very, very important. If you miss this period, later on it will be difficult. You put the child in phonics class, you put the child in any class, the child will take a long time to learn. And even third standard, fourth standard, they will read THE, the MOTHER, mother. Like this only they read, no exaggeration. Yes? So children, they read very slowly because when they were open to learning, you did not give. Please give it when they are open. Yes, it is easy for you. It is easy for the child. Later you give, you think the child has grown big. Only physically the child has grown big. The absorption will not happen so easily. Yes, everyone? So
Yes,
0
ma'am.
to 3 years, the child is absorbing unconsciously. And we saw that 0 to 3 years is very important period. And 0 to 6 years is the sensitive period for language. Okay, before I go into 3 to 6 years, I want to tell you all something very beautiful. Ready to learn more about the brain science? Yes?
Yes.
Because what kind of teachers are we? What kind of teachers are we? Great teachers, right? We understand and we learn. Yes? So, let's see this beautiful thing. What is there in our brain? Okay? This brain, when a newborn is born, when a new baby, right? A newborn baby, this baby has a lot of brain cells. That means the baby has a lot of neurons. Yes? The baby has a lot of neurons than he or she needs. Why? Because those brain cells are required for language. Those brain cells are required for movement, for culture, to learn, to improve their sensory. When we say sensory input, that means to gain information through the senses for emotional learning. Yes. So there are lots of brain cells in the brain for the same reason. Getting it, everybody? Yes. Why do we have a lot of brain cells? Because of all this. The child has to develop in all this. So let's consider these brain cells like seeds. Yes. It is waiting for the environment to water the seeds. That means what? Though there are a lot of brain cells, if you do not support, they will die. It will get wasted. Okay? You want to know the scientific term? Don't get scared, okay? It's just for your GK. It's called synaptic pruning. Okay, just for your knowledge, I'm just letting you know. All these are not there in your book. Just for you to understand how human beings evolve and how beautiful it is. Okay, so we learned that they have a lot of brain cells, which is preparing them for language, movement, and a lot of things. Yes. So the child's brain grows by using the neurons. What is this neurons? Brain cells. The child's brain grows by using these brain cells. So every experience you give or the child experiences, yes, it will create a pathway. What will it create? What will it create? A pathway. So let's understand what is a pathway. In the morning, do you get up and think I should now brush my teeth, then I should do this, then I should do this, or it is happening automatically? Just like that. You know you have to go brush. You know you have to go brush. You know what you have to do. One routine, you have built it automatically. Yes, everybody. That's because there is a neural pathway formed.
Yes.
Yes, there is a neural pathway formed. So for a child, you are going to help the child develop these neural pathways. So every experience you give the child will strengthen that pathway. The hearing language will strengthen the language pathway, the way the child is receiving the language. Getting it, everybody? So when the child hears a language, you're strengthening the language pathway. When the child is touching objects, you're strengthening the sensory pathway. When the child is repeating a movement, we call that motor pathway. Okay? So you are strengthening these pathways. So if you give good experiences, will the brain grow? Will the brain grow? Will have
Yes.
strong neural
Yes.
pathways? So
Yes.
you should make sure that you give the child beautiful experiences. If you don't give experiences, if you don't give that hearing experience, you're not allowing the child to touch everything. Everything, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Okay? And you want the child to sit still, with finger on the lips, or sit in one corner, put the finger in the mouth and simply sit. The brain is lacking experiences. Will this pathway be strong without experiences?
No. No.
Everybody understanding what I'm telling? If you've not understood, feel free to ask. Will the pathway be strong?
No, ma'am.
No, the pathway is
No,
not going to
ma'am.
be strong. Agreed? So, for the pathway
Yes.
to be strong, you have to give them the right kind of experiences. If they lack experiences, the brain is weakening. And remember, if you do not use a pathway, the brain will remove the pathway. Are you getting how important that 0 to 6 year period is? If you don't give the experience, that pathway is removed. You don't talk a lot to the child, the language pathway is removed. Are you getting it? That is why it's difficult for the child to learn a language later on. If you don't allow the child to move, to touch things, to feel things, that sensory pathway is not used. That is only what I call synaptic pruning. Okay? So if the child does not hear to a lot of words, that language pathway will be weak. Yes? So the environment shapes the child's brain. So your environment is very, very important. Okay? So what should we do during this time? You have to give order. Please make a note. What should we give? We have to give order. What is order? A nice routine, a nice structure. They should know what next. They should learn those habits. I get up, I do this work, then this work, then this work. They should know what next. Order should be there. Language should be there. When the brain is strengthening the pathway, all this will happen from 0 to 6 years. Yes, there should be order. The child should absorb there should be a lot of, the environment should be rich with language. You should allow the child to refine their senses. Refine their senses means give them something to touch, taste, feel. Yes, activities that will make their senses sharper. You should give them movement. What is movement? When a child is born, the child can walk, run, very strong. When the child is born, no. You have to give movement. Movement of the small muscles, we call that fine muscles, and the gross muscles are the larger muscles. So that opportunity should be given so that the child will gain good control of their hands, fingers, their body. Are you all getting it? So from 0 to 6 years, order should be there, language should be there, refinement of senses should be there. That means activities to make the senses better, and movement should be there. Okay, so from now onwards, don't ask the child to simply sit in a corner. It is not going to help your child. Maybe it will help you to complete your work. So very, very important when the child is small, please keep your work simple. Yes, everybody, simplify your work. Do not keep it very difficult that you cannot even spend time with your child. Understood, everybody? This is very important. Why am I telling it to you all? You should tell it to your parents also. Yes, it's that gulab jamun or bhaji is not important as you have to, that time that you give to your child. Getting it, keep everything very, very simple, easy, healthy. Okay. So now let's get into the next part. So we saw the first point of consciousness, which is 0 to 3 years. Now, second point of consciousness, 0 to 3 years, actually, it is unconscious absorption. Yes, all of you understood 0 to 3 years is unconscious absorption. Since I use the term third point of consciousness, I'm letting you understand what is the first point. So what is the second point? 3 to 6 years, conscious exploration. The child is aware. The child now knows I am using my words to communicate. Yes, I can use my words to communicate. Yes, now this is the period where the child is open to learning letters, sounds, forming complete sentence, asking questions why, how. They will experiment with words. If they've heard a word wrong, or they will try to use a new word to see if it is right or wrong. Correct? They will learn some new words and they will try to experiment with words. You should allow them to tell stories. Okay? Then we will see what is classifying. Okay, that you will learn shortly. All of this will happen between 3 to 6 years. So 3 to 6 years is a conscious exploration. Yes, everyone? So what did we learn from the beginning of today's class? Yes, we learned how this language was formed, how did the alphabet system come, and language is very important for thinking. So what should we do for it? We also understood that 6 years is very, very important. That is the third point of consciousness is very important. What should we give to a child? Then we understood the first point of consciousness, which is 0 to 3 years. Everything is happening unconsciously. And when the child is born, the child has lots of brain cells. So you have to make good use of that brain cells. Because they have a lot of brain cells to strengthen the pathway. If you don't give them experiences, that pathway will be lost or it will be weak. Yes, everyone? And I want all of you to understand one thing. In a Montessori classroom, we don't teach language as language in the beginning, like a subject, literacy, numeracy, or we say English, math. It's not taught like that. Are you getting it? Then how is it taught if it's not taught like that? It is alive in the environment. It is there in the environment. So we know in Montessori, we always start with activities that we do in our daily life. Yes, the final outcome is very high. Yes, the academic outcome is high, but first we start from what they know. So what they know what have they seen? Like they learn how to button, how to hook, how to sweep, how to mop. So while doing these activities, we give them the vocabulary. We give them the words. We speak to them. Just like that, and the child learns the language. So everything in Montessori, the child will do activities and learn. So while doing activities, the child is learning the language. It is not only that in language period, the child will learn language. Did you get it, everyone? As the child is doing the activity, the child will learn the language. Got it? You will learn more about it when we do our practicals. Okay? So language, the child should learn naturally. The child will learn at his or her own speed. The child will learn it through daily actions. Yes. So I want all of you to understand this, that the language is alive in a Montessori environment, and Montessori environment is different from a traditional school. Yes, it's very different from a traditional setup where you have mixed age grouping. The classroom is very big. You have lots of shelves. You don't have walls dividing the classroom. Correct? The children will move. Children are allowed to repeat. Children are allowed to work on the activity for a long period of time also. Okay. So as and when they are doing the activity, they learn the language. Yes. So we start with practical life activities, which the child does at home, because the child has already seen that work. So we start with that. Yes, everyone. So by 6 years, yes, we told that the child should speak clearly, should express his thoughts or feelings, should be having total reading, should be writing also very well. Yes, everyone, I want all of you to remember this for a long period of time. Yes, and 3 to 6 years. What is this 3 to 6 years period called? This 3 to 6 years period is called the reasoning mind. What is it called? The reasoning mind. Birth to 6 years. Okay, it's the absorbent mind. In that, not reasoning mind, we call that conscious absorption. Okay, reasoning
Conscious.
mind is 6 to 12 years.
Yes, yes.
Okay, getting it, everybody? So we saw what happens. The third point of consciousness is 6 years. First point is 0 to 3. The next is 3 to 6. This time the child is aware that they are using language. They are aware and they learn. Okay. So at all of these times, the environment should be rich in language. So language development is over by 6 years. Is it over by 6 years? No, it's
We
not
just
over by
started.
6 years. It's just started. This is called the first plane of development. What is this called? First plane of development. In first plane of development, you have 3 points. Correct? 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and at 6 years outcome. 0 to 3 is first stage of consciousness, which is unconscious absorption. Next is conscious absorption. The next is conscious absorption. Conscious absorption means they are aware. They are aware that we can use language to learn, language to communicate. Yes, all of that awareness comes to a child from 3 to 6 years. Okay, they're consciously absorbing. Still, they're absorbing. They're taking everything, but they understand and they absorb. That is the difference between 0 to 3 years. 0 to 3 years, they will learn the language without knowing. 3 to 6 years, they will learn the language with awareness. And 6 years, and above that, they learn how language works. Okay, we can keep it as how language works. So what happens in 3 to 6 years? When they are consciously learning the language, they will have interest in letters. They will have interest in sounds. They will want to learn all of them because they want to express themselves. Okay, the brain is open to this learning. They will ask a lot of questions. Why, how? They will experiment with words. Sometimes they would have associated, maybe this is a pen, they would have associated this with pencil. They will try to understand his pen or pencil. They will keep using it repeatedly to understand and to correct their mistakes. And at this time, they're learning consciously, so they're very interested in storytelling. Okay? So child realizes I can use language to express my needs. This is called conscious awareness. Absorbing with conscious awareness. Got it? Yes, Lakshmi? Yes, all of you understood what happens in 3 to 6 years? Yes, that
Yes, ma'am.
interest develops. Okay. Shall we move forward? Okay. I want all of you, we will take a quick 1-minute break. Please drink water. Go through what we have learned and we'll move further. So this is for your GK, general knowledge. Thank you. Yes. So we know the first plane of development, it had 3 points of consciousness. Correct? Now we'll see what the first plane of development is, birth to 6 years. Please understand. Write it down, okay? So we know that language is not complete. Now there are different planes. The first play is from 0 to 6 years. That 0 to 6 years is called the absorbent mind. They can learn without even putting efforts because the brain is open to the learning. Half of that time they're not aware and half of the time they are aware. 0 to 3 they're not aware, 3 to 6 they are aware. Getting the difference, everyone? Yes, it's an absorbent mind. Remember, please give the things at the right time. If you miss, if you give it later, it's going to be difficult for you, it's going to be difficult for the child. So remember all the points that I told what the child should know by 6 years. Now, let's see what is the second play. Okay, though our age group is 6 years, what is the second play? Now the child changes completely. You will notice this when, suppose you're handling the 5.5-year-old children, they speak a lot. They will know 5.5 or 6-year-olds, that age group, right? Some children will be 6 years and above also. They will no longer simply absorb. Now the brain is there, no, it will start thinking for itself. Okay, they will think. They will reason why. They will question. Let's say if you want your faith, everything, to pray God, all of that, put everything before 6 years. After 6 years, they will ask you a lot of questions. Yes? So, that 6+ years, they'll ask why, how, what will happen. Yes? So, what is language used in this stage? It is used to explain their ideas, to ask questions, to imagine, to gain knowledge, to write about something. You give something, they can imagine and write creatively. Getting it, everyone? So the language development in this plane is the reasoning plane. Okay, we call that the reasoning mind. That is 6 to 12 years. Now comes 12 to 18 years. Who have children in this age group? I would want to see who have children in this age group. Yes? How is this age? How is this age? 12 to
Age group,
18.
ma'am? Sorry.
12 to 18.
Okay. No.
12 to 18. Not much. Okay. Yes? And that age
Vanita
group.
ma'am has, ma'am.
Vanita
ma'am.
ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
So 12
My
to
daughter
age,
is 12, ma'am.
yes.
12.
How is that age group? Easy or difficult? How is it? Easy or
It's
difficult?
difficult sometimes. Difficult for
Very difficult. Why is it
very
difficult?
difficult.
Very difficult
Difficult.
because,
We came to ma'am from that age.
yes, so it is a teenage age, right? We say teenage. Why? They attain puberty, a lot of hormones change. They want to become independent. Please understand. So if you are trying to tell, do this, do that, they will oppose you. They want to know.
They would listen, ma'am. They
They
would
won't
listen.
listen. They will not listen because the body is like that. Yes?
Yes.
Why? Because the child is trying to find who I am. What is my identity? What is my values? Sometimes we always tell my child always fights with me. Those who have children between 12 to 18 years, the teenagers, you always feel they fight. But one day just listen to them. You will understand that your child has such beautiful values. Yes, they're forming that values. I am this. I will not do this. I will do this. Yes, I'm a person like this. It's an identity forming age. They are understanding who they are. So at this time, emotions are very strong. Okay? I want all of you to know that emotions are very strong. That time they don't want you. They want friends. Their friends are more important than you. Yes? But if you want them to come to you for advices or to look up at you, you should form beautiful connections between 0 to 6 years. If you lose that period, they will never come to you. So what does the child want between 12 to 18 years? The child wants respect. The child wants trust. The child wants to be independent. Please give it to the child. Now, why are we talking about all of this? We went off from language? No. So what happens from 12 to 18 years? The child uses the language to express his or her emotions, to share their opinions, to discuss values, to question the society, to form that identity. Yes? Getting it, everybody? So how language differs from birth to 18 years? First plane is that absorbent. They're just absorbing. 6 to 12, they're using the language to reason. And 12 to 18, it is for their we call that the social and emotional self. Okay, so language is not only important for the young children, but it's also important for the older children also. So we must understand their development to understand what kind of language we have to give. So let me tell you in simple words. 0 to 6 years, child will build the language. 6 to 12 years, child will use the language to think and learn. 12 years, the child will express the language, will use the language to express themselves, to express their ideas. Yes? So when we do this, when we give the right kind of support, when we respect these stages, we help the child to grow into a confident communicator. Who's a confident communicator? Can express their TFEs, thought, feeling, emotions confidently. They can think for themselves. Yes, not only think for themselves, they can also understand another person. So language is not different from development. Language goes along with development. That's why I'm just going deep into how our body grows and all of it. Yes? Beautiful to be a human being? Okay. Shall we move forward? Now, after coming to the classroom, what is the first thing that the child should know? Or after coming to a classroom, what is the first thing the child should know?
They are safe. They should
Okay, they are
feel
safe.
safe.
They should feel safe. Beautiful. What else? What else should the child know?
Joyful.
Joyful.
Child should be joyful.
Joyful. Okay, child should feel joyful. Joyful should feel safe. Anything else? Anything else?
Their routine
There to take care of
they
them.
means should they have feel to come connected. inside
Okay,
prayer and all.
Katija says connected. Gauri, you were telling something?
Comfortable, ma'am.
The
Okay,
routine
Madhuri says comfortable. Gauri says should know the routine. Yes?
Ma'am,
So,
energy, ma'am.
pardon?
Energy.
Should have energy.
energy.
Okay, all of this is right.
They are learning something new
Talking, ma'am.
today.
They're learning something new today. So all of you told they should feel safe, they should feel energetic, they should feel all of this only. They will feel all of this only if they know their classroom environment. Correct? They know the home environment, so they know you ask them what is where, they will know everything. Correct? So for a child to feel safe, for a child to have energy, for a child to express himself, whatever you are told, the child should know whatever is there in the environment. Correct? What is there around my environment? Until then, the child would not have seen a smart board. Child is seeing a smart board these days. They are a green board. And there are a lot of materials. When we take Montessori, there will be a lot of shelves like this everywhere. The child will see the shelves. The child will see the materials. The child will want to know what is there in my classroom. This is a chalk. This is a duster. Correct? The child should know these words to feel safe. Agreed, everybody?
Yes.
So we are going to teach the child what is called as, just a second. Yeah. We are going to teach the child the vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Words. Okay. For this, we are going to use a beautiful lesson, which most of us know, which is called the
3-period lesson.
Superb. This is the crux of Montessori. Very, very important. 3-period lesson. What is this 3-period lesson? This 3-period lesson works according to how our brain works. Okay? So we use the 3-period lesson to teach the names of objects. To teach the names. Okay? So now I'm going to take 3 things. It might be a pencil, a sharpener, an eraser. I want to teach the child the names of them. So what I do, I will make all a group of children, invite them, okay? And I will keep it in front of the child, or I will sit in a place where the child can see me, okay? And for all these simple ones, you can certain lessons you can do it as a group lesson. But when it comes to your activities, you will do 1:1. Please note the difference, okay? When it comes to your objects of environment, you can do it as a group lesson. So first thing what you will do is, you will ask the child to feel the objects. Yes, they will try to write, they will try to feel, they will experience an object. Okay, you're going to show it, they're going to see it, they're going to experience it. Then only you're going to give the name. Are you getting it? Not just this is the pen. Then pen and pencil look same, no? So they should know how a pen writes, how a pencil writes. Yes, what is the work of an eraser? They should know all of it. They should experience the material. Did you get it, everybody? So we are going to take them through 3-period lesson. So the first period, when we say 3 period, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay? So first period is called the naming period. After the child has got experience with the material, you're going to name the object. You're going to name the object. And how am I going to name the object? With a nice, calm, clear tone. Okay? For example, if I have to teach a child, this is a pen. Okay, if it's a 1:1, the child will always be to our left. I'll just look into the child's eye, make a connect and say, this is a pen. You cannot feel and tell or see and tell. Yes, you will give it to the child will feel. This is the tone that you're going to use. This is a pen. You tell this is a pen. No. Okay? How many times I will tell this is a pen? No. Okay? We are going to use a clear, calm tone. I'm just telling you simple, basic example. Okay? And then once you do it, you're going to present it like that. You're going to tell this is a sharpener, this is an eraser. Now you have to see. Okay? The second stage is the most important and the longest stage. And please make a note. You are going to involve movement in the second period. Okay, let me just share. Let's understand this. This is called 3-period lesson. Okay, we have 3 steps. Let me first tell you the steps. Naming, this is step 1. S1 is step 1, S2 step 2, step 3. The first one is called naming period. The second one is called recognition and association period. The third one is called recall. The names are only big, but it's very simple. Okay? So for a child to remember the names, we take the child through 3 steps because this is how the brain remembers. Okay? How does the brain, what do you do for anything new? First, you will introduce whenever you're learning a concept, we first introduce the concept. Yes? Then your brain will process the information. Then we will test, right? By asking questions, whether you can recall, whether you can remember. Yes? For this, to introduce, to process and recall or remember, we have 3 steps, which is called naming period, recognition and association, recall. Yes, everyone? So when I'm saying naming period, sorry, try that. Okay. So this naming period, I'm just going to, before doing 3-period lesson, please make a note, everybody. The child has to experience the material first. Whatever you're going to teach, the child has to experience first. Without knowing the purpose, the child is not going to learn anything. The child has to experience first. Please make a note. Yes? Next, you're going to give the names. You're going to feel the material, look into the child's eye, name the material. Okay, so that is called naming period. Next, you're going to call this a recognition period. What am I going to do? Remember, this is your longest period and very important. And you're going to involve movement. Okay? Because child learns well only when there is movement. A sitting still child, being quiet child is not going to learn as much as a child has movement. Okay? You're going to keep the activity very active, very lively. So how am I going to have movement? Ask the child, can you place the pen on my hand? If the child takes the sharpener and place, will you tell the child, see properly and place? That's what we say, no? But here, if the child has placed the sharpener instead of a pen, you will repeat. You will look into the child's eye and say, this is a pen. We focus on what we want. not on what we don't want. It's a beautiful life lesson, right? Because most of the times we focus on what we don't want and we cry. We feel the world is broken. Yes? So focus on what you want. That's it. We want the child to know this is a pen. So I repeat, this is a pen. If the child is not able to point, give me the pen. When I say movement, I'm saying give me the pen. Or move the pen front. Okay? Move. Can you point out to the sharpener? Place the sharpener on my hand or do something with the material. Okay, that's called movement. That is very important to keep the lesson very active. Okay, very lively for the child. If the child is told correctly, you will observe it and then you will go on to the third period. You will ask the child what it is. So you will go as per the child. Some children may do it on the same day. Some children may take some days. You will try every stage only 2 times. How many times? 2 times. After that, even if you do 100 times, the child will not learn. You will keep putting efforts. The child will cry. The child will feel hurt. You will threaten the child. I will not send you back home. Yes, I will put you in a dark room. What? No, the teachers would tell. Yes, nothing will happen. To me, nothing will happen. After 2 times, that means the child is not open to that learning. But if you pressurize the child may somehow cry and tell, but will not remember. Okay? Next time, child will not come to the material. Is all. That is the good thing that you have done. So remember, we want results. We don't want immediate results. Okay? It will take time. Second period will take time. I'm giving a simple example like pen, eraser, sharpener. So we start with things that the child already knows. It can also be chair, table, yes, bowl, scissor, spoon. It can also be all of this. Getting it, everyone? Then we may move to complex. We can move to certain other things where we will see the colors. Yes, all of you will get these color tablets also, right? Just showing you all, okay? Where we'll teach the colors, where we'll point out to the color and say this is blue. We'll first make the child observe, then we'll say this is blue, this is yellow. Then can you tell? Yes, this is red. Getting it, students? So we start with what the child knows already and then we move on to all of this. So in all of your practical, yes, you will be using 3-period lesson. Getting it, everyone? When I'm telling colors, it is for the sense of sight, right? So when we learn this practical, you will be learning how to use 3-period lesson to teach. Okay? But what we are learning now is to teach the names, we will use 3-period lesson. Okay? So second step, you're asking the child to do something with the object so that you know that the child has in the brain that sound pen. Yes, okay. The sound pen and this object has got mapped. Are you getting it? That is happening in the second period. Third period, what question will be asked? You want the answer to come from the child's mouth. You just point and ask, what is this?
What is this?
Got it, everybody? Yes? So this is called your 3-period lesson. Yes? So this is very, very important in Montessori because we will be using it in your sensorial practicals. We will be using it to teach the names of objects, whatever objects are there in the environment. Yes? To teach them anything new, not only in a Montessori environment. You can use this in a normal, traditional school also to teach the names of objects. Yes, Navya, Kimberly, Madhuri? Yeah? Pooja, yes, we can use this to teach new words. You're teaching animal names, your vegetables, your fruits, 3 by 3. You can use 3-period lesson to teach. You will see children learn like magic very easily. Don't try to teach more than 3. Okay, they will remember well. You first introduce, you ask them point out where it is, then you finally ask what is this. This helps the brain to remember. This is a 3-step process. So we learned 3-period lesson for naming now. What did we learn, everyone? 3-period lesson for naming. But do we only name objects? Only keep naming objects when we talk? No. Okay. Do we only keep naming objects when we talk? No. We will compare also. This is thin. This is thick. This is long. This is short. Do we compare? Do we compare? Yes?
Yes.
So that whenever we compare, yes, like we may use the pink tower to teach large and small. Yes, when we're doing a practicals, we learn how to teach thick and thin with brown stairs, long and short with our red rods. We are comparing. For that, we will use 3-period lesson for grading. We will use 3-period lesson for grading. Just a second. Yeah. So first, what did we see? We saw 3-period lesson for naming. Yes. Now we are seeing 3-period lesson for grading. So this 3-period lesson for grading is of 3 types. Grading positive, grading comparative, grading superlative. Okay, we are learning this because you have to know how to teach the language. So when I say positive, the basic difference. Okay, the basic difference. Like dark, light. When I say comparative, dark, darker. Yes, everyone, or it can be light, light. I'm just giving one example. It can be short, shorter, tall, taller, long, longer. The comparative degree. Remember when we were small, we learned put ER for comparative degree. But here the child understands what is comparative degree. What is comparative? Superlative, the child will understand dark, darker. What is the superlative degree of darker? Dark,
Darkest.
darkest. Yes, everyone, I've just given one example. So we have materials where we will be learning, where the child will be learning all of them, will understand and learn. So when we were small, we understood that whenever they ask comparative degree, we should write ER at the end. Whenever we have superlative degree, we have to write
Superlative.
EST at the end.
EST.
Yes, but now the
Yes.
child will understand. Let's see how the child understands. I'll just do a quick one and you will be learning in your practicals. Okay, let me just take 2 colors. Okay, this is just for you to understand this concept. Okay. Yes, this is dark. This is light. Agreed, everybody? So why I always move to my right? Because child is to my left. Okay. So why not to the right? Okay. So today you try making your child sit to the right and feed your child. Try turning to your child to the right side. See which is easy. You can even try now. Turning to the right or turning to the left. Okay, turning to the left is easier. That's why we keep the child to the left side. Okay, so I'm going to look into the child's eye and say, this is dark, this is light. This is dark, this is light. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah. Oh, just a minute, students. 1 minute. Let me take this, okay? This is dark, this is light. Got it, everybody? Now, watch carefully. Watch carefully. What is the difference between a traditional teaching and 3-period lesson? Okay, now I'm removing this and placing this. Now what happened? This was dark last time with this. This was dark. This was light. Correct?
Light.
Now
Yes.
I'm changing this. This is dark, no? But now this
Light.
is dark. This is light.
Dark. This is light.
Got it? That means what? Dark and light is what we compare it with. So beautifully the child understands. You won't tell so much. The child understands. It is something that you compare. Yes. So this 3-period lesson for grading is to learn the qualities of an object. Or we say attributes of an object. Attribute meaning is quality. Got it? An object can be tall, an object can be short, an object can be of dark color, can be of light color, can be thick, thin. Okay, so you will be learning it in your sensorial practicals. But just understand that dark and light. Child understands that dark and light is what you compare it with. So in a naming period, you will change and do the naming. Getting it, everybody? Then in my recognition and association period, I will ask the child, Can you place the light on my hand? The child will place the light one on your hands. Can you push the dark one front? Okay, don't think it is so easy. Child will take some time. Second period will take time. If child is doing wrong, repeat. How many times will you repeat? 100 times. I'm a great teacher. I will repeat 100 times. Can we do it?
No, 2 times.
Only 2 times. Yes, everybody, please make a note. Otherwise, a repetition carries no value. The child is just not open to that learning. Then we will go on to the third period. If second period has happened, we'll ask the child. Again, even in the second period, you are going to change the material. Now you will ask the child, now can you give me the light one? Child will recognize here there is less color, this is light and give it to you. Getting it, everybody? And this is dark. Okay? So every period you're going to change the material because we want the child to understand qualities is what we compare it with. Okay? Finally, you will ask the child, what is this? Child should say dark. The answer comes from the child's
Dark.
mouth. What is this? Light.
Light.
What is this? Dark.
Dark.
Okay? And what is it? Light.
Light.
Got it, everyone? The answer should come from the child's mouth. Even in the last period, you will change. Yes, everyone? This is your 3-period lesson for grading positive. I'm just telling you, okay? Just for you to know that when we teach qualities, child should understand that it is comparing. Understood, everybody? Anybody has any doubts in this? Shall we move forward? Shall we move forward? Next, we saw 3-period of lesson of gradings of 3 types. Positive. What you saw now was this positive. Next, we saw comparative. What is comparative? I have this and this. When compared to this, this is dark, this is darker. This is dark, this is darker. Yes, everybody? Got it? This is dark, this is darker. Okay, you're going to do the naming period. Even in your naming period, what you will do, you will change the material. Now, what happened? This is darker. Okay, so this is dark, this is darker. So, child understands dark and darker is what we compare it with. Got it, everybody? Then you will ask the child, place the darker on my hand, push the dark, something with the material. They have to move or do something with the material. Got it, everyone? Yes? Even here, you will change the material. Every period, change the material. Okay? So you may change and then you will ask the child, now can you point which is darker? Child will point to this. If the child does a mistake, repeat your naming period. Finally, you will ask the child, what is this? Child should say darker. What is this? The child should say dark. Getting it, everyone? Now challenge the child. Now tell me what is this? This is darker. This is dark. Understood? So beautifully child understand. And you will also tell, when every child you will explain it differently. Okay, if the child does not understand, you will say more color, less color. Yes? All of this, the child will understand what is dark, what is darker. Then we go on with superlative. Can we do it with 2 objects? What is the superlative? Darkest. We need 3. Okay? So I will take 3 tablets, keep it in front of the child and say, this is dark, this is darker, this is darkest. Okay, remember, everything matters. Your tone, your voice, everything matters. Yes? So this is dark, this is darker, this is darkest. You may now tell. So every time you do something, you will make the child also do. Okay? Now I'm going to just change one. Okay? Let me just change one. And again, you will challenge the child. Now again, you will do your 3-period lesson. This is dark, this is darker, this is darkest. Yes? So even in your naming period, you're going to change. Next, you will challenge the child. Can you show me which is dark? Which is darker? Which is darkest? Okay, I'm telling a child who has learned fast, but it will take time. Okay? Next, you will change the material. Now, can you tell me which is dark? Place the dark one in my hand. Place the darker one in my hand or push it front. Okay? You will ask the child to do something with the material darkest. Every time you do, what should you do? What should you do? Please unmute and tell. Every time you do a period, you have to
Give a turn to the child.
change. Yes, you will give a turn to the child. You will change the material. Why? The child should understand this is something that we compare. It can change. Yes, this can be red. Now in the class, maybe I'm wearing the darkest red. But if there's somebody else wearing a darker one than me, this will become dark, that will become darker. Correct, everyone? Yes? So it depends on what we compare it with. In the final period, we are trying to understand if the child has recalled, you will ask, what is this? Child will say darkest. What is this? Darker. What is this dark? You will change the material. Now, can you tell me what is this? This is darker. This is dark. This is darkest. Okay, you will just ask the question, what is this? To understand, the child is able to recall. Getting it? So, why did we learn this in language? Yes, we see this in the other practicals also in language because we have to give the names of objects to the child. We have to teach them the qualities. It is tall, it is short. Are these not words? Are these not words? They are?
Yes.
Well,
Yes, for that we have to know the language. Okay, ma'am. Yes, got it? Any doubts? Shall we move forward? Okay, we'll move forward. Everyone drink water. So we spoke about oral language. Correct? First thing that we should talk or we should help the child is whatever language the child knows, we are going to strengthen it. What the child knows? Spoken language. Now, for having that spoken language really good, right? That when we say spoken language or oral language, I want you to know this oral language is of two types. What is it? It is of two types. What are the two types? What do you think will be the two types? Let's guess. To have this oral language really strong, you need two things. What are the two things?
Listening
Listen.
skills.
Okay, listening skills. Okay.
Understanding.
Understanding skills. Okay.
Action,
What else?
ma'am.
Action. So that from our actions they will understand. Okay.
Ma'am, gestures, ma'am.
To gestures, actions. Okay, gestures are also here. And, you're using your actions. Okay, so now let me tell you in the CASA group. What is this CASA group? In Montessori, the 3 to 6 years period, we call it the CASA group. Okay, when they're coming inside the classroom with the knowledge of spoken language, in Montessori, we have divided this into two groups. One group is called enrichment of vocabulary. Enrichment of vocabulary. What is the meaning of enrichment of vocabulary? You're making them learn new words. Okay, you're making them learn new words. So this oral language is divided into two groups. Okay. So what are the two groups? One is your enrichment. When I say enrichment means you're having your environment rich with words. Enrichment of vocabulary means you're teaching the child new words. The meaning of vocabulary is words. When I say I have a rich vocabulary, that means I know more words. So I'm helping the child learn more words. What will the second one be? Once I know words, is it enough? If I know just new words, can I speak? Can I only speak words? Mug, phone, blue, pen. Can I just speak like this? No. All of you are laughing. Why? Then what is required? What else is required for speaking? What else is required?
Expressions.
expressions and tone.
Okay, wow.
Sentence formation.
Sentence formation. Yes. So we need the next one, which is called language training. Getting it, everybody? Yes. So we need the next one in oral languages called language training. Getting it, everyone? So these are the two things in oral language: enrichment of vocabulary and language training. So enrichment of vocabulary means the child, your classroom should be in such a way such that the child learns new words every day. It can be through 3-period lesson. You're going to see what is classified cards. It can be objects of the environment. It can also be their real life experience. Maybe even naming their emotions. Getting it, everybody? What is your enrichment of vocabulary? So let's see what is there. So from here only your practical starts. The very first thing in oral language, what we are going to do is enrichment of vocabulary. So for enrichment of vocabulary, you're going to name the objects of the environment. You can also give formal lessons by using 3-period lesson. Yes, everyone. Whatever objects are there in the environment, you're going to name them. You're going to use classified cards. We're going to see what is classified cards. You will also be learning what is nomenclature cards. Yes, and also from real life experiences. So when we are learning this oral language, we are going to see different presentations. We're going to see about 5 presentations. So what is the use of this? When we say enrichment of vocabulary, it also means the child knows the meaning of the words. Yes, the child also knows the meaning of the words. So with this, the child will develop meaningful vocabulary, okay, which will help. Because of all this, the child can read. What is the result? The child can read and write well. Yes, everyone, the child will learn how to read and write well, or we can say write and read well. It's not necessary writing will come first, you will know how. Okay, so now we will go on to our first presentation. Our first presentation is objects of the environment. So what is there in a classroom? Chalk, pencil, paper. What else? Tell me what else will be there in a classroom.
Board,
Tables,
board,
chairs,
Table,
blackboard,
chairs.
blackboard,
Yes?
walls, racks,
Books,
racks,
Okay.
plates,
lunch
Beautiful.
bag.
Yes. So we will have a lot of things in enrichment, a lot of words for the child to learn. Yes, everyone.
yes.
So through objects of environment, we are going to start with. Okay, before even I go into objects of the environment, I will also touch upon language training. Okay, how am I going to help the child to form the sentence properly? We'll touch upon that and come to objects of environment. Okay. So we saw language training. How do I train the child to speak properly? Okay, we saw 2 things in oral language development. So your second one is language training. In language training, to help the child speak properly, you're going to have stories. You're going to tell stories, read stories. You're going to have rhymes. Very important. You will have conversation. What is conversation? 2-way. Not only you speaking. Yes. You will have activities for self-expression. Ask them to talk about something. When we do this, I will also let you know how you can include this in your schools, even if it's a traditional school. You will also have some early grammar games. Yes? So what is the result of this? If I'm going to give all this, what is my result? The child can speak clearly. The child will use language correctly. And the challenge in India is our mother tongue has a different sentence structure and English language has a different sentence structure. Correct? You can't just change the other language to English because the sentence structure is different. So they will speak clearly, they will use the language correctly, correct words, and they will also understand language structure. How to. So in English, the very first structure that we will be learning is subject, verb, objects. Okay, you just have to know. He is playing with a toy. right? So subject is he, is playing is verb, with the toy is object. Okay, so this is just an example. And they will enjoy language. This is very, very important. And this is the foundation for writing and not reading, just reading, total reading. And when I say writing, it is creative writing. Beautifully, they express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And whatever they have to express, they express it very clearly. So we saw oral languages of two types, enrichment of vocabulary and language training. In this, you're going to teach them the objects of the environment, what objects are there around them, classified cards. We will see something else, sensorial materials. We will also be seeing lessons of grace and courtesy, how to tell thank you, excuse me, may I help you, and all of that. The result is the child will be able to read and write well. They will be able to write those words well. Read the words and write the words well. Okay, that's why we just wrote read and write, not total reading and creative writing. Language training, stories, rhymes, conversation, something two-way. Self-expression activities. You can give them an object, help them to speak about it, help them to introduce themselves. Okay, a lot of grammar games, which we will be seeing. What will happen? They will speak clearly. They will use the language correctly. They will understand the language structure. What words I have to use in what place. Okay, and they will enjoy the language. The result is creative reading and creative writing and total reading. Total reading means they will understand and read. That happens very, very well. And they will be able to understand others also very well. Okay. So for all of this, if I want the child to speak very well, who is going to help the child in the classroom? Who are we?
Great
Who are we?
teachers.
Great teachers, yes, and we
Great
are called,
teachers.
thank you.
Great
So
teacher.
we are called directresses in a Montessori because we guide the child. Okay, you are a model for the child. We call you a language model. The way you speak, how you speak, the tone that you speak, that calmness, everything the child will absorb. Yes, child will not only observe you like this because the child has got what is called mirror neurons, correct? That special nerve cells, sorry, brain cells in the child's brain, it will also absorb your state of mind. Yes, so you are a model. You're very, very important in classroom. Okay, so remember your role is very big in a classroom. Today we will just start with the first practical, which is objects of environment. Okay, let us just start with objects of environment. This is presentation 1 in your oral language development. Yes, everyone. Objects of the environment, okay, or environment, however you call it. Yes. So now, whenever I'm teaching objects of the environment, keep in mind they should be movements. So what are you going to do? You're going to teach the everyday objects in a classroom. Whatever objects that they see in their everyday life in the classroom, you are going to you're going to start with. Okay, they have to see those objects. So let's see what are we going to teach the child. Okay, so there are some steps for this. First thing that I will teach the child is this is the floor, wall, ceiling. Correct? That is also there in the classroom, no? Yes? So I will not say, children, this is the floor. That is the wall. That is the ceiling. Not like that. We will touch the floor and say, this is the floor. You will make the children also touch the floor and say, this is the floor. You will stand up and go to the wall and touch the wall and say, this is the wall. But you won't touch the ceiling, okay? And we will point up there and say, there is the ceiling. Okay? There is the ceiling. Are you getting it, students? How we are going to give these lessons? So let's see the steps involved, okay? Let's see the steps involved. For example, I'm going to introduce these 3 words. So first, when you start, choose the words. Choose 3 words. Always we do 3 by 3 because brain remembers when we teach 3 by 3. Okay, for objects of the environment, step 1, you're going to gather the children. Okay, children who are interested, you're going to bring them. Okay, you're going to gather, okay, a small group of children. So you're going to invite them. Remember, in Montessori, we will not tell, come, now I'm going to teach you this lesson. Everybody come here. Not like that. Every child you will invite. You'll go at the eye level of the child and say, shall we learn something interesting today? Shall we learn some new words today? Are you getting it? You will respectfully talk to the child, and those children who are interested, only those children you will be bringing them to the, you will be bringing them. Getting it, everybody? So now your step 1 is inviting the child. Inviting the children. Gather the children means you're inviting the children. So what is my step 2? You will sit together. Okay, on the floor. So how will you sit? So you are the directress. You are sitting like this. Your eyes should be able to see the children. Yes, everyone? Getting it? Okay, your eyes should, all the children are also able to see you. You are also able to see. So if it might be 1 child, 2 children. Yes? The children should be able to see you. Got it, everyone? Hope you understood from the diagram how you should be sitting. Okay? So the way you should sit, you will sit together and make sure, step 3 is, make sure they can see you. Yes, everyone? Oh, you, sorry, 1 minute. Step 1, sorry, students. Step 1, you have three things, okay? You're inviting the child, you're sitting together on the floor. The way you are sitting, the child should be able to see you. You are the directress. The directress is the teacher because she guides the child, and the others are children. Yes, everyone, C, I've written for children. Now comes our step 2. Step 2. Okay, step 1, you're bringing the children, you're inviting the children, you're sitting on the floor. Step 2, you're going to introduce the first word and your first period. What is your first period? Naming period with the first word. So now we decided 3 words. What were the 3 words? Floor, wall, ceiling. Many children do not know these words. Okay, so we usually start with these words. They should know where they are living. Okay, so this is the floor. Touch the floor and say, this is the floor. Are you getting it, students? You will touch the floor and say, this is the floor. Child will also touch and repeat. Child will touch and repeat. This is a floor. Okay. Now step number 3. Do the same thing with the second word. Which period? We are still in the naming period. Which period are we in? Naming period. Next you will go on with the second word. You will get up and go and touch the wall. See, there is movement. Yes, everyone, you will get up and go and touch the wall and say, this is the wall. Yes. Child also will touch and say. Okay, children will also repeat. Will touch and repeat. Step number 4 will be, you finish the first word, second word. What will step number 4 be? Third word. Third word. What is the third word? Ceiling. Yes, there is the ceiling. You will point and tell. There is the ceiling. The children will also point and tell. So we finished our naming period. Yes, everyone, we finished our naming period. Now, what is our second step? After the naming period, what is our second period? Recognition. Recognition. So what will you ask the child? You'll ask the child, show me the wall, show me the floor. Yes? Point to the ceiling. You will ask the child to do this. Okay? So remember here, movement is important. Either they will walk, okay? They will walk or reach or touch. Yes? Why we need movement? Movement will help them remember. Yes, everyone. So they will repeat till they are confident. Sometimes you will see they will carry at home. This is wall, this is ceiling. They will keep on repeating it. Please allow children to repeat because repetition is required for learning. Next comes third period. In our third period, what question will be asked?
What is this?
What is this? That's all. So you will touch the floor and ask, what is this? You'll touch the wall and ask, what is this? You'll point to the ceiling and ask, what is this? Yeah? So once the child is able to name the three words properly, the lesson is over. Yes? And then after the lesson is over, you'll say, okay, children, lesson is over and send them? No. You will ask them, what activity do you want to do? You're going to give them a choice and send them to their whichever activity they want to do. Continue after this lesson. Okay, so we learned how 3-period lesson is used for objects of the environment. So you will, what and all can you do? Group 1, you can teach them furnitures. Furniture, chair, table, shelf. When we use practical life items, that is what we do in our daily life. Bowl, spoon, tray, jug, scissors. Yes, all of this. Even that soap dish, we teach children how to wash hands, right? So soap, that soap dish where you keep the soap, brush, sponge, all these